Hi, how are you doing? This is IBM-i By Doing. Welcome to IBM-i By Doing, a series of video sessions in which we do hands-on projects programming the IBM-i Midrange computer. I'm Madhu Vasudevan with over 20 years of IBM-i work experience at your service. The target audience is newbie programmers who want to learn RPG-4 or RPG ILE on IBM-i. We will mount our RPG bikes right on top of the Subfile hill and slide down the valley of data file processing in RPG-4 ILE. Just follow along. Working along with me, you will be able to do this. Early in this series, we will tackle the fabled RPG subfile, and we will create every possible variation of the subfile. We will create physical files, logical files, display files, printer files, and of course the RPG ILE programs to handle all these files. We will create some information display screens, some data entry screens, and generate some reports. Welcome to this session on RPG-4 ILE programming. In this virtual life on the cloud, you are a crossing guard with the Hogsmeade Railroad Station. Besides escorting newbie schoolers to the Hogwarts School of Magic, you have to build the computer interface for Muggle parents who want the train departure information at Hogwarts.com. In this magical concoction, we will brew a potion to create a logical file to access trains information city-wise, create a display file with a subfile for inquiring on the train's information by showing a request screen, create an inquiry load all subfile program to pull up the train's information by inputting the city name, run the inquiry subfile program for a specific city or for all cities, and query the train's physical file to verify inquiry program output. Our subfile inquiry program will allow Muggles to look up multiple train records in one screen. The search screen will accept a center name as input. After entering a center name, the Muggle will press the enter key. Our program will pull up all the records of trains going to that center. If the Muggle hits the enter key without inputting a center name, our program will pull up all the records of all the trains going to all the centers sorted alphabetically. This process can be continued as long as user wants. Finally, F3 may be pressed to quit the inquiry program and end the inquiry session. The city-wise trains information may be viewed by directly querying the physical file. We will run the query command on the physical file train set with the record select parameter set to view the records for specific centers. We will thus verify that our inquiry subfile is indeed working correctly. To keep me motivated to produce more of such high-quality free content, please subscribe to this channel. Hit the like button below, leave a comment or two, and share this video with your colleagues, friends, and other IBM-i enthusiasts. Hit the bell icon below to actively follow along with the rest of our series. Having created a display file with a subfile for inquiring on the train's information, let's create an inquiry load all subfile program. There are no column restrictions while coding in free format RPG-4. In the very first row, first column, you could key in *free and hit enter. Now you can code in any row, any column you want. However, to be able to view the code without error highlighting in the green screen SEU, especially the CSpec or calculation lines, we will keep all code between columns 8 through 80. Note cursor's line and column number displayed in Visual Studio's bottom frame. Delete the *free. In the very first line, tab over to column 7 and key in the compiler directive /free, hit enter some 20 times and key in the enclosing compiler directive /end-free. Press Ctrl S to save the member. Let's start keying in the header spec now called Control Options. Move cursor to line number 2, tab over to column 8 and key in Control Option, copyright, within bracket, within quotes, IBM-i By Doing 2022, end the line with a semicolon. This is an optional keyword, an optional control option. Hit enter, next control option, within bracket, within quotes, key in the brief description, train set inquiry, full subfile load, semicolon. This is also an optional control option. Next control option, key in the keyword date format, within bracket, *USA, semicolon. Here we are setting the date format of date fields to the *USA model, which is month/day/year, 4-digit year. Press Ctrl S. Next up, fspec or declare files, DCL-F, declare our logical file transitl, function disk or keyword disk, *ext for external disk file, usage, *input. This program will only read this logical file and it's a keyed file, semicolon. End of fspec for transitl. Declare the next file, display file trainq1, which is a workstation file, also externally described. Next keyword sfile for subfile, within bracket, record format of the subfile within the display file, sfltran. Next parameter, rrn for the field holding the active record number of the subfile. Hit enter to continue the file declaration to the next line, since we have not yet keyed the line delimiter semicolon. Next keyword, indicator data structure for this display file, data structure called indicators, semicolon, to end the file declaration. Ctrl S. Next, let's code the dspec, declare data structure, indicators. The data structure declaration needs an end ds. Every line needs to be delimited with the semicolon. Within the data structure indicators, key in a comment, response indicators, first response indicator, F3 exit, a field of type indicator starting at position 3, semicolon. Next response indicator, F12 cancel, a field of type indicator at position number 12, semicolon, comment. Conditioning indicators next. We have a few subfile keywords for subfile clear, indicator at position 50, semicolon. Next is indicator subfile display, SFL DSP, type indicator at position 51, semicolon, SFL end, indicator at position 52, semicolon, and a validation flag or indicator for center not found, indicator at position 90, semicolon. End of data structure indicators. Ctrl S. Let's start keying in the CSpec or calculation lines. Begin with the comment. This program does an entire subfile load. Start with a do while loop, do while not, F3 exit, key pressed, and this do while needs an end do. Every line delimited with a semicolon, indented within the do while loop. First off, X format, that is write and then read the record format, center inquiry, semicolon. Next, if not, exit key pressed, semicolon. This if needs an end if, semicolon. Within the if, indented, execute subroutine, check center. This is a subroutine we need to key in later, in which we check what center was input by the user in the center inquiry display screen. Next line, if not, center not found, if needs an end if center not found flag was not set on by the subroutine check center, meaning the user either keyed in a valid center name or the user just left a blank center name, in that case, execute subroutine to clear the subfile, semicolon, then execute the subroutine to load the subfile, semicolon, then write footer record format from the display file, semicolon, and finally X format, that is write and then read the subfile control record format CTL tran semicolon. The main logic of the program is over. Finally, set on the last record indicator *INLR and return. Press Ctrl S to save the code so far. Next, let's key in the subroutines one by one. Let's start with the first subroutine, check center. Next line, column number 8, comment with a lot of stars. Next line, comment, check center requested and position database cursor. Go up one line, copy the whole star comment line, Ctrl V, paste it below the comment. Next line, column 8, begin subroutine, check center, semicolon. The begin subroutine needs an end subroutine, semicolon, comment, copy the name of the subroutine and paste it as a comment in the end subroutine line so we know which subroutine ends in this end subroutine line. Indented within the subroutine, if center no equals star blank. Center no is the name of the input field that the user inputs. If it is blank, this if needs an end if, semicolon. Set LL to the start our logical file transet L, semicolon. If no center name was input, just start from the beginning and load all trains, all centers. Next line, if built-in function %EOF within bracket logical file transet L, this if needs an end if no records in our logical file. Set on the error indicator center not found. Next line, else to if the user did not leave the center name blank but keyed in a center name. Set LL with whatever the user input to our logical file transet L. If not, built-in function %equal within bracket file transet L. This if needs an end if whatever the user input is not available in the file. Then again we set on the center not found indicator, center not found equals star on, semicolon, and that's all there is to subroutine check center. Press Ctrl S to save the code so far. Next, let us key in the subroutine to clear subfile. Copy the first 4 lines from the previous subroutine, Ctrl C, and paste it below. Copy the last 2 lines from the previous subroutine, Ctrl C, and paste it below. Highlight the name of the subroutine, change it to clear subfile. Highlight and copy the name of the subroutine, paste it below in the end subroutine line so that we know which subroutine ends in this end subroutine line. Within the clear subfile subroutine, set off the subfile display indicator, set on the subfile clear indicator, write the subfile control record format CTL tran semicolon, set off the subfile clear indicator, and finally initialize the active record number of the subfile, set it to 0. That's all there is to clear subfile subroutine. Press Ctrl S to save the code so far. Next, let's code the load subfile subroutine. Highlight and copy the first 4 lines from the previous subroutine and paste it below. Highlight and copy the last 2 lines from the previous subroutine. Copy it, paste it below. Highlight the name of the subroutine, change it to load SFL. Highlight and copy the name of the subroutine. Paste it against the comment in the end subroutine line. Highlight the comment for the subroutine, change it to load subfile with all train records. Within the subroutine, execute subroutine read forward. This is a subroutine we need to write in which we just read the next record from our transet L logical file. Next line, set the SFL end indicator with the built-in function %end of file transet L semicolon. We are just saying read the first record from the logical file, and if there is no first record, next start the do while not end of file loop, do while not, built-in function %end of file transet L. Hit enter, tab over to continue the condition with an AND RRN less than 9999 semicolon. We don't want to overload our subfile beyond its limit of 9999 records. Enter. This do while needs an end do semicolon. Within the do while loop, indented, increment RRN since we found one record which we need to write into our subfile. Write the record SFL tran, the subfile record format. Next, execute subroutine read forward in which we read the next record from our logical file and decide if SFL end needs to be set on. SFL end indicator should be set on if built-in function %end of file transsetL is on, or if RRN has equaled 9999, in which case also we need to end subfile. We need to set on the SFL end indicator. Outside the do while loop, we set the subfile display indicator to either on or off depending on RRN greater than 0. If there is any record in the subfile, then it may be displayed. Semicolon. That's all there is to load subfile. Ctrl S to save our code. Next, let us code the final subroutine, read forward. Same formula from the previous subroutine. Copy the first 4 lines, Ctrl C, paste it below. From the previous subroutine, copy the last 2 lines, paste it below. Highlight the name of the subroutine, change it to read forward. Highlight, copy the subroutine name, paste it in the end subroutine line as a comment so we know which subroutine ends in this end subroutine line. Within the subroutine, read forward. If center no equals star blank, meaning user did not input any specific center name. This if needs an end if, semicolon. We just read the next record from the logical file transsetL, semicolon. Else, semicolon, else. If user did input some center name, then we do a read equal with that center name, which is in field center no from our file transsetL, semicolon. That's all read forward does. Ctrl S to save the code. Delete all blank lines below and Ctrl S. Let's review the code, review each of the subroutines. For any obvious typos or syntax errors, we need to update the comment for the clear subfile subroutine. Let's key in an appropriate comment for clear subfile. Key in the comment clear subfile and set RRN to 0 and Ctrl S to save this. Similarly, let's update the comment for the read forward subroutine. It should read something like read next record from database file. That's what read forward should be doing. Press Ctrl S to save the code. Press Ctrl E to bring up the executables pop-up. Choose command create bound RPG to compile the code. Looks like we missed a semicolon here. Let's key in that semicolon. Press Ctrl S. Look for any red squiggly lines, and if you hover over the squiggly line, you get an indication, you get a message about what went wrong there approximately. So scan through your program code. The first squiggly line is to be expected since compilation stopped. Let's try our luck one more time. Press Ctrl E to bring up the executables pop-up. Select create bound RPG. And we have touchdown. Delete the previous error message. Expand the new pop-up. Action create bound RPG program. CRTBND RPG for your project library / train SFL1 program object was successful. Close the notification and we have a successful program compilation. If you still have errors, you can look at the compiler listing from within Visual Studio Code. This option has been shown in our data entry subfile program hands-on video. The link to our RPG hands-on playlist is in this video's description. You could look at the compilation listing by clicking on output here in the bottom band. It is showing you the bottom of the listing where if there are errors, they will be noted here. Since we don't have errors, it's showing 0 errors. You could close this compiler listing, this output window. You could close this member, train SFL1, and file exit from Visual Studio Code. Having created a display file with a subfile for inquiring on the train's information, let's create an inquiry load all subfile program. To keep me motivated to produce more of such high quality free content, please subscribe to this channel. Hit the like button below, leave a comment or two, and share this video with your colleagues, friends, and other IBMi enthusiasts. Hit the bell icon below to actively follow along with the rest of our series.